having a pretty interesting. Is consciousness inside time and space? And I'll put a link to that video because it really did stimulate quite a conversation today. Is consciousness inside time or space? Or is time and space inside consciousness is more what I think is going on. Consciousness is not inside time and space. Time and space is a concept. It's not actually real. It's a concept. Just like our Earth was flat was a concept. Our Earth is round is a concept. We have a lot of concepts that we believe and design our lives around, our world, our understanding of. Time and space is one of them. Time is watching a three-dimensional object move. Travel in time. The last one video response to that video was like, okay, he sent me some comments. It's from Perhol314's channel. You're a real hard guy to try to understand. At the very end, you said, just doesn't make any sense to you. And it's like, yeah, probably would. Like, it wouldn't make any sense to you in the mindset that we currently operate with. But that doesn't mean that there is something that does make sense that we should all sort of get to know. Because I personally think time and space is what's causing us an awful lot of problems. It's a natural thing. This Mayan calendar, a lot of these calendars are predicting the end of time, which is a good thing, because time is creating an awful lot of negative emotions from what I see. And to me, time is a measurement. How long something gets from point A to point B. And it could be, I mean, you used an example of doing I forget off the top of my head, but it was almost like you get a computer doing a calculation, and that extension, the computer is outside of yourself doing something. It's still doing something within time and space, whether it's inside you or outside you. Your perception, the framework of how everything operates as we know it today, still time and space. You can't escape it as long as you're viewing it from that perspective. I don't really know whether you're getting at, I mean, is time and space inside consciousness, or is consciousness inside time and space? If time and space is just a concept, then how can consciousness be inside something that's not really real? It is, you know, how can I describe this? If you wanted to get rid of time, then imagine when you don't experience time. And time flies when you're having fun. I have yet to meet anybody that is aware of time while they are having extreme fun. The only time they may be interested in time is when fun is about to start or when fun is due to end. But if you're, you know, in total bliss, there is no time. Time seems to be a lot more important when you're trying to solve a problem, when you're experiencing a problem, when you have a challenge. when you are, and sometimes even waiting for the fun is the challenge. Um, Time seems to keep life very exciting. And while we want this excitement, it's also creating a hell of a lot of hell. Nobody wants that. I mean, if time doesn't exist when you are absolutely having fun, then wouldn't it be a good idea to get rid of time? And time, again, is just a freaking concept. It's observing something move. Why do we always need to watch something move? Why can't we just believe? And it is because of consciousness. And we are waking up to our conscious awareness of what the hell is going on. We just don't have all the answers yet. We're still watching a bunch of particles move in time. And when all of the information is in its right place, it's almost like the pieces of the puzzle are all coming together. All the particles are, coming together in time. And once we see that picture, then we'll be consciously aware of everything. And just from my experience, when you do get that level of awareness, there is you're telepathic. You can, in its instant, thought travels a lot faster than the speed of light. You see things, you communicate with things a lot different. Everything is completely different if you experience it without space and time. It is next to impossible to try and explain. I find that when I had that experience, like going into this, it's almost like a completely different dimension. And once there, it was like, okay, nobody else is here. So I couldn't stay there. I'm really, really tired today. I couldn't stay in that state of being simply because I was the only one there. So I had to come back to more of this way of being with time and space. And it almost feels like I'm supposed to, my life purpose is, I guess, to constantly describe what the experience is and maybe guide into a direction of something completely different. How are you going to know what the evolution of humanity looks like if somebody doesn't describe it? And yet describing it sounds so friggin' insane. I know what it sounds like, so it's a challenge. It's really a big, massive challenge to describe that other dimension that has no time and space in it. To come back here was, I know it is real painful to experience life with time and space, and it's a choice. I know better. I know that is not good for me. It's not good for anybody to be there, but it's almost like that's the framework that humanity finds normal. And I'm definitely not normal. So I'm trying to be as normal as possible by wrapping my brain constantly around time and space and trying to fit in like with everybody else, even though I know it's completely wrong. It doesn't serve me at all. It doesn't serve anybody else. It's something that I know will always leave me susceptible to sort of contradicting myself, causing problems for myself, causing problems for everybody else. I mean, there's such an entanglement of confusion, misunderstandings. It's just so wrong to experience life with time and space. But it is something that everybody has to go through. And once you, it'll hit you. I can see the paths for everybody. It's like this massive global destruction. It's not just economic. It's a lot more serious than that. Few will survive it. And it all depends on how you handle this event horizon as to how you're going to come out of it, whether you will survive it or not, whether humanity will make that big leap. Otherwise, we are going to be repeating the same pattern over and over and over again until we get it, and you really got to let go of your stuff. You can't be tied to your house, can't be tied to your cars. It is like jumping off a cliff. And when you're ready to jump off that cliff, then it's like ultimate freedom. And I have no idea if this video makes any sense whatsoever. It is a unique conversation that I very much enjoyed. Bottom line, I think space and time is within consciousness, not consciousness is in time and space, because if you get rid of time and space, then you have no consciousness because it's inside it. And it's like, no, we've got to wrap our brains around how do we get rid of time and space, because that causes so much friggin' problems. And if you set that rule up where consciousness is inside that, then you can't get rid of it because you need consciousness. But you need consciousness and get rid of all of the bullshit lies, which is time and space is one of them, the major ones. You need to be able to get rid of time and space to really evolve. So you got to sort of set your beliefs in a way that would work. It's sort of like you need the formula, right? Otherwise, the evolution won't work out. I hope that makes some form of sense. I'm really, really tired today, so I have no idea if it's making any sense at all, but I'm giving it my good shot because it was a really interesting conversation. Thanks for posting. Peace out.